All right. Okay, today we're going to show page 27, inverse of quadratic square root functions. Okay, example 1, find the inverse function f inverse of x for f of x. So, first step, change f of x to y. And then switch x and y. Okay, now we solve for y. So add 3 to both sides. So that's x plus 3 equals y plus 2 squared. Now we take the square root of both sides. Now, normally we do plus or minus, but when we're talking about inverses, we're only doing the plus square root. Okay? So, cancel. So then we have square root of x plus 3 equals y plus 2. Subtract 2 from both sides. So, f inverse of x equals the square root of x plus 3 minus 2. All right. And let's go ahead and graph f of x in pink. And let's go ahead and graph f inverse of x in green. Now, we need to get some points for f of x. Okay, so let's go ahead and use Desmos. We can use Desmos to get our points. So, parentheses x plus 2 squared minus 3. Now, even though it makes a U shape, we only want the first half of the graph. Okay, so looks like these 2 points should be enough to make our U shape. Okay, so we have -2, -3, and 0, 1. And let's see if I can zoom out a little bit more, see if we can get, if there's a point that will pop up, we can usually click on the line and a point will show up. But looks like those are the 2 main points that we can use. So let's go ahead and do those. Okay, so -2, -3, and then 0, 1. Okay, we have, and the reason why we're only doing the half of it, because when we do the inverse, you'll see it'll be the square root. Okay, the inverse of quadratic is square root, so we're only worried about the positive side. Okay, now for the inverse, all we have to do is switch. So that's -3, 1, -2, 0. So -1, 2, 3, -2, and then 1, 0. Okay. All right, go ahead and finish up example 1. All right, let's go and take a look at example 2. So to find the inverse, first you change f of x to y. And then you switch x and y. So x equals the square root of y minus 1 plus 2. Now we solve for y. So we're going to subtract 2 from both sides. We get x minus 2 equals the square root of y minus 1. And now we square both sides. The square root cancels, so then you're left with x minus 2 squared equals y minus 1. Last step, add 1 to both sides. So f inverse of x equals x minus 2 squared plus 1. All right, so let's go ahead and graph f of x in pink, and then we'll do the inverse in green. Okay. All right, so we need to get points from f of x. Okay, so let's go ahead and graph f of x. So that's the square root. Get this box out of the way. Square root of x minus 1 plus 2. So it won't stay on it, but we know that one of the points is 1, 2. And 10, 5. That should be enough to get us our, let's see. Yep, so let's go ahead and graph those points. So 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then for the inverse, all we have to do is switch x and y. So it becomes 2 and 5, and this becomes 1 and 10. Okay, so 2, 1, and then 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, go ahead and finish up example 2. Start working on your assignment and have a wonderful Wildcat day.